Yeah. Y'all know what time it is. Life is good. Welcome back, baby. Yeah. Can I vibe? Can I? Man, welcome back to the Jahmad Show, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another great episode. And we back. We're gonna keep pushing this narrative, man. Shout out to everybody that has joined the show, whether you're watching the rebroadcast or you watching it live. It's all good. I like it either way. Let me go ahead and get this Facebook post out the way. Make sure people know what's going on out here in Streamland. We live. Listen, man, practice makes perfect. Or perfect practice make perfect. I'm starting to learn that sometimes you just gotta just jump. I didn't know what I was gonna be talking about until about 30 minutes ago. And I said bump it. I'm talking about something. You see the like, comment, share, subscribe. Obviously, any type of engagement, whether you watching the whole show or you like it or you comment or you definitely share it, it's gonna help the channel grow and it's much appreciated. It ain't costing you nothing. I done did the investment for you. It ain't costing you nothing to go ahead and show support to your favorite show, and I would greatly appreciate it. If you like what you're hearing here today, I'm gonna bring you more and more of this content, man. So yes, once again, it's all about the people. And always, you can also give me a follow on Instagram where I'll be posting clips and topics and some other exclusive content that just bring you a little bit deeper into this whole metaverse of what is the Jahmad Show, right? Anyways, without further ado, man, y'all seen the title. We jumping right into it. Today we're talking about what women find attractive. And I ran across this video. Shout out to Jessica OS. I just literally ran into it like yesterday. And I think it's because the type of content that I make or some of the stuff I find interesting, she popped up. This at the moment of this recording, this particular video, I want to say has somewhere around 1.2 million views. So it's not like she needs my help by any means. But nonetheless, obviously, a lot of people agree with her. So we're going to tap into it and see what she has to say about 7 things that women find attractive in men, or 7 signs that you are an attractive man already. Let's jump into it.
Most of you have no idea where you stand on the attraction scale. You might be way more attractive than you think, and today I'm going to break down the unmistakable signs that prove it. Let's get into it. Jessica OS here, welcome to the channel. First sign, women get nervous around you. Listen, most guys think that if a woman is nervous around them, it probably means that she's like uncomfortable or disinterested, where in actual fact, one of the biggest signs you're attractive is when a woman starts acting fidgety, awkward, or even a little shy around you. When a woman is nervous around an attractive man, her body language gives her away. She might start playing with her necklace, twirling her hair, touching her lips or her neck, stuff like that, And these are all subconscious ways of directing your attention to the most feminine parts of her body. Let me tell you something. Women don't do this around men they're not attracted to.
No, they do not. And that is what I want to talk about real quick. We figured this out. I moved some monitors around and whatnot. Let's bring the music back for a little bit. She's absolutely right about that. Women don't do this to women to men that they're not attracted to. I have conversations with other attractive men within my family or guys that I just am able to connect with. And it's like this unwritten rule that we just understand that I think a lot of guys never experience. And when I say a lot of guys, I mean average to below average men in some regard. They don't experience that. If anything, they're getting bossed around, they're getting treated like they're not, they're getting ignored, right? All of the stuff that a lot of men do thinking that, oh, that's just how it is. And unfortunately, It is how it is, but that's not what every man experiences. Attractive men experience a whole different type of life, a whole different type of experience from the beginning moments to the end moments when it comes to women. And why is this important? Why is this important? It's because I don't want guys to fall into the narrative that doesn't apply to dating in general. Whether you're dating or you're already in a relationship or you're in a marriage, unfortunately, and you start seeing yourself getting the short end of the stick, it could all have been that could have stemmed from this initial process, which is why I try to run it home for men to truly understand who they are, working themselves the best possible way they can to put themselves in the best possible position when it comes to dealing with women. I think if you start there at the beginning, the core or the nuclear family or the whole process of dealing with a woman, I think ultimately would be better. And having a woman deal with a man, like she's getting a top tier guy at his peak. And I think it's a win-win situation for everybody. Anywho, let's continue.
If a woman is attracted to you, she suddenly becomes very conscious of how she looks in front of you. She might start adjusting her hair, fixing her posture, or even checking her reflection in a nearby window. Why? Because she wants to look her absolute best for you. This isn't something she does consciously, it's an automatic response. Ever notice a woman looking at you, but the moment you lock eyes, she looks away like she just got caught doing something illegal? That's attraction. She's afraid that if she stares too long, she'll give away the fact that she finds you irresistible. Alternatively, there are some women who do the exact opposite. So like instead of avoiding eye contact, they'll actually stare at you intensely, holding eye contact for just a second too long, trying to test you.
Now, if you're a fella out there, let's be honest, have you ever experienced this? Have you ever experienced the locked-eyed stare? I'm telling you. Like, dang, what you doing? If you haven't, maybe that's a sign that you're not as attractive as you think. So, like I told you, man, I'm on neither side of the fence, right? I'm in the middle, and I'm just trying to be and give honest truth to our society today. We're in a hell of a time. We're in a hell of a space where we have access to this level of information that we never had access to before. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, everybody was just guessing. That's why everything is the way it is. I really feel like that. Everybody was going off their own understanding. For the longest, it was this whole thing about how men and women don't understand each other. I think we can't say the same today. I think we understand each other more than we ever have. Like, it's almost scary because it's like, dang, we're very much different in a lot of ways. But to truly understand, it's like I've been getting lied to. I've been bamboozled. In some cases, it could be a power struggle, which is unfortunate. It should not be a struggle when you're trying to actually date. But let's continue, because I can sit here and talk about this subject all day, which is obviously what this is about, right? Uh-oh. Let's back that out. All right. We learning, man. We learning. This is live.
Either way, just know that she's feeling something for you. Sign number 2. Other men act differently around you. Now, I know this is a sign you're probably not expecting in a video like this, but hear me out. You ever walk into a room and suddenly the energy shifts? You notice a few guys sizing you up, some giving you a nod of respect, while others get weirdly passive-aggressive or try to act like you don't exist? If that's ever happened to you, congratulations, you're a threat.
Let me pause on this for a minute. This right here, specifically for me, hit home because, sometimes in this space and you're dating, you try to take your ego out of it, right? You try not to be too egotistical to thinking that ain't really happen. But I'm telling you, that happens more often than you think, especially to attractive men. Fellas, if you're hearing this, if you agree with this, chime in. And guys who've done it, chime in. Real talk. I've never been on the opposing side. Like, I've never been the one inflicting the discomfort of a more attractive man in my vicinity. However, I have been on the receiving end of it, and unfortunately, it is what it is. You got to play it cool, keep your level, man. You can't let a man. That's part of self-mastery, right? Not allowing somebody to get you out of character, even though I can clearly tell that, bro, that's what this is, because it was unnecessary. Like, this happened to me recently. I was at one of my little spots I love to go to, and I'm chilling. Like, that's what I do. I want to say I came in fairly late too. It wasn't even like 30 minutes left. I came in, went to the bar, had my drink, turned around, surveying the scene, seeing, people watching, whatever. And this dude came up behind me, was like, "Hey, bro, let me get behind you." Now, keep in mind, I'm at the bar. There's a bar right here, For whatever reason, he was adamant about being right here. I said, okay, maybe homeboy got a big crew with him. Whatever. I'm not, it's all good. So I scoot down a step or two. He ain't want. He just did that just to fuck with me, I guess. Whatever. Okay. So anyways, I'm standing there minding my business. Sure enough, a few other dudes come up, and they had did something at the bar. The bartender was like, "Man, I hate those guys. I don't know why they did that to you." I said, "Yeah, I get it all the time, bro. It's all good. Whatever. I'm used to it." They ain't really do nothing, but that whole, "Hey, let me get right here," was unnecessary. But whatever. You got it. So they come back. Here go the lame shit though. You over here taking a selfie, which that's some lame. That's my opinion. Grown ass man taking a selfie in the club, and you should be ashamed of yourself. But hey, do your thing. Motherfucker taking a group selfie of 14 dudes. No women around anyway. He's taking a selfie, but his arm is on my shoulder, right? On this shoulder. His arm, as he taking it, so now I'm doing this. Hey, bro, you ain't got to touch me. But he drunk, so his arm kind of balancing, keep touching the shoulder. I keep pushing his hand out of the way. He finally take the picture. I say, "Hey, bro, don't touch me. You ain't got to touch me." "Oh, what was I supposed to do?" Clear sign right there, bro. Come on, man. It's a, "Hey, bro, I don't care about none of that. Just don't touch me." That's it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm minding my business, dog. Please, just don't touch me. So he making this whole deal out of it. His homeboy come over. "Was it the girls?" Which, bingo. I ain't say nothing about no women. Apparently, there were some women next to me. I didn't know that. I wasn't paying attention to them like that. What that got to do with you touching me on my shoulder, man? And what you talking about? "Was it the girls?" I said, "Oh, gotcha. That's what this is about. You trying to show off for some women that probably was, you know what I'm saying, you want it, but was looking my way or whatever the hell." Hey, man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't feel competition when I go out. I compete with myself when I'm by myself, when I'm doing my show, when I'm doing my podcast. This is my time to get better, be better. When I go out, I just exude the work I've been putting in. That's it. It ain't about who I'm better than. That's low grade shit. Fuck that, dog. Focus on you and be the best version of yourself. No man should compare. You should never compare yourself to another man. Compare yourself to your old version. And have I grown since then? That's the only man you should be comparing yourself to, in my personal opinion. But when you do shit like this, you don't actually realize it works out in the man's favor.
In the world of male social dynamics, being a threat means one thing only: you're an attractive man. Men are competitive by nature. When an attractive man enters a room, the first thing other men do, whether they realize it or not, is assess where they stand next to him. Do they feel outmatched? Do they feel insecure? Or do they feel like they can match his energy? Most guys don't like being outshined. If you ever notice guys giving you longer than usual stares, subtly checking out your outfit, or even mirroring your body language, it means they've clocked you in as competition. Some guys, the insecure ones, will even try to test you. For example, you'll make a simple joke and they'll try to one-up you, right? You'll tell a story and suddenly they feel the need to interrupt and add a better version. These guys aren't just making conversation, they're actually trying to assert their dominance. The reason? They feel like they have to knock you down a peg because deep down, they know that you naturally hold the spotlight. What's the best move for you though? Don't engage. A truly attractive man never needs to prove himself.
What I just said. What I just told you. Bruh, this ain't about me and you and all that. I mean, you may feel that way. And that's fine. I don't. Don't have to. Not only do I know who I am, I know what kind of position I hold. I seen all the women looking at me when I walked in here. Humble Rakif, we're going to put him aside for a second. I know what time it is, bro. Every place that I walk into, I know exactly what's happening. And ain't nothing you could do. Ain't nothing you could do to change that. It is what it is. The only thing you could do is focus on yourself and exude your own energy. But don't listen to me.
If a guy is trying too hard to challenge you, just smile, stay composed, and let him burn himself out. Here's another way you'll know you're an attractive man. Some guys will pretend you don't exist. They'll avoid making eye contact, act dismissive, and even leave you out of conversations when they're, in a group. And this is because acknowledging you feels like giving you power, and their ego won't allow them to do that. You'll notice this especially in social settings where women are present. If the guy is trying extra hard to exclude you or downplay your presence, it's because he sees you as a silent competitor. And here's where it gets really good. Women are hyper aware of such social dynamics. And if she sees other men reacting to you with either admiration or envy, her attraction for you will skyrocket. Women.
This is also very true. It happens one or the other. It happens, man. This is probably gonna be one of my favorite episodes just because of the relatability. It happens one or two methods. Either the man comes over and he daps you up and he gives you compliments, which is also cool. Like I said, the admiration part of it. Like, that's showing love, but it's showing love because he's trying to get next to you because he realized you finna get all the girls. Maybe the ones you don't get, I can be a scraggler. And I always wonder why that was, especially since I moved out here to California. I've experienced that a little bit more. I'm like, bro, why these dudes keep coming up, talking about my fit and my waves? I'm like, this weird. I ain't never complimented nobody hairstyle. Hey, bro, like that ain't never something I've ever did unless it's like my cousin say, hey, you clean, dog. Like, but that's literally less love for real. You know what I'm saying? I've never been out with another dude or a random guy that I ran out to. I'm like, hey, bro, that fade. That fade hard. I know guys do it. And usually if that's the case, maybe he might be looking for a barber. You know what I'm saying? I've given word of mouth out like that. But the true essence of that is it's coming from a place of admiration. They looking at you and they say, hey, dog clean. And respectfully. But you can I'm gonna say this now. You can show admiration and respect for somebody without giving him a compliment on his hairstyle. That might be a little, that's like the dead giveaway. Or it's the other option, right? The dude's just flat out hating. Like you said, he gonna test you, he gonna try you. You know what I'm saying? He gonna stand in your way. You ever had the dude stand in your way? Dude, hey, you know it's the only walkway, you ain't gonna budge. Why you keep doing this? What's the big deal, dog? Move out the way. You're not attractive. Move out the way, man. Damn. Oh, I love it. Let's continue.
Women are attracted to high status men. If you walk into a room and there's a visible reaction from guys, we notice. The way other men act around you is one of the biggest indicators of your attractiveness. So the next time you step into a room, pay attention, because if men start acting funny, chances are you're the main character in that space. And that, my friend, is a damn good sign. Sign number 3, women try to challenge you. If a woman is attracted to you, she won't always make it obvious. In fact, sometimes she'll do the exact opposite. She'll challenge you. She'll tease you, she'll test you, or even act unimpressed by you. If your woman is throwing little challenges your way, you should be grinning on the inside because...
Yeah, I'm gonna say something on this one. This one happens as well. The thing is, I think because women's lack of understanding of how to try to approach a man, they usually go into this route. And fair enough, most of the time, it's unattractive women that do this. I'm just saying, for me, when I've had that happen, that approach, it's usually not someone that's attractive, because if she's attractive, you're gonna do exactly what she about to say next, which is probably play it off and like, all right, what's up? That's what's up. Not get defensive. But the unattractive women, it's like, hey, cut it out. This ain't it. You ain't it. But that's their way of trying to stand out. I ain't gonna tell him I really think he's attractive, but I'm gonna stop him in his tracks and ask him, you ain't hot? I get asked that all the time. I like to wear layers. It was cool the other night and I had like a pea coat on. Keep in mind, people out there got jackets and whatnot. But for me, I guess I'm the one to stand out. Excuse me, you ain't hot? I'm like, that was your way? I said, do I look hot? She said, yeah. I said, am I sweating? She said, no. I said, I appreciate it. And I walked off. She was like, yeah, it didn't work. And she wasn't cute by any means. So yeah, just know if you in that lane, just tell a dude that you think you're attractive or you compliment his fit or something. You can do whatever you want to do, but if you ain't that attractive, you might not be able to get away with this one. I'm just being real.
Does that mean she sees you as a high value man? Let me explain. Have you ever been talking to a woman, for instance, and she suddenly throws in a little dig like, oh, you think you're smooth, huh? Or, I bet you say that to all the girls you meet. This isn't rejection. It's actually a test. She's trying to see if you'll crumble or if you'll hold your ground. Because an attractive man, one who's truly confident, never lets a little playful jab throw him off. The trick is to not get defensive or get awkward and backpedal. Play along. Tease her right back. Also, sometimes when a woman is interested in you, she won't act impressed at all. She'll pretend she doesn't care.
That's also true. But actions speak louder than words. And I'm a big advocate on actions speaking louder than words. Look, you can say a lot of different things. That's what I'm saying. What she's saying don't even matter. But look at the eye contact. Look at her body language. Look at how she stopped me in my approach. I don't know how many people in here. Me? Come on now. You read right through that. You see what I'm saying? But once again, ladies, if you're gonna try to take this approach, just be mindful. It may not work out in your favor if you're not that attractive. It depends on the guy, but I would assume that you're not gonna approach a mediocre guy with that line. It's gonna be somebody that you probably feel a little out of your league, and most likely he is. All good though, all love.
You'll tell a story and she'll respond with, oh, okay, that's cool, I guess. You'll make a joke and she'll give you a straight face before cracking a little smile. This isn't disinterest, it's actually a challenge. See, because women don't test men they don't really care about. If she really wasn't interested, she wouldn't engage at all. She'll just, leave or ignore you.
100%. That's my point. Action speaking louder than words. Like she ain't even gonna put that much effort and energy into that. That's why I said you gotta read past it. A lot of guys are like, I don't want to say numb, but like, number one, this doesn't happen. And if it does happen to you, some dudes are like, they so caught up in whatever else world they got going on, they can't even pick up on signs. That's another truth. Some guys like, dang, that happened to me all the time. It's like, bro, yeah, she actually find you attractive, but because, you do X, Y, Z, she might think you low-key lame, but she trying to give you a chance. If you know the pun on that, then you'll think that's funny. Anyways, let's continue.
But if she's subtly challenging you, it means she wants to see if you're worth her attention. Attraction is about emotion. If a woman finds you attractive, she wants to feel something around you. And that's why she'll challenge you. She's looking for an emotional response, a little tension, a little excitement. If you pass her tests, you make her feel something. So the next time a woman playfully challenges you, don't get defensive. Don't fumble. Don't try to prove yourself. Just stay cool. Tease her right back. Own your confidence. You heard it from me. Sign number 4, strangers stare at you without realizing it.
Now, I don't know about y'all. Like I said, I think all of this is obviously, this whole video that she designed. The link is in the description, by the way, to this actual video that I'm pulling this information from. And it's 7 signs you're a highly attractive man. This is obviously going to go with men who are attractive, but not just, and she says this in the video, but I just want to make this very clear. Attractiveness is much more than just a physical thing. It's part of it. Don't get me wrong. The physicality is definitely a part of being an attractive man. However, the way you carry yourself, the way you exude your confidence, the way that you live unapologetically, what you have going on, how much effort and work that you put into your body, your mind, the way you present everything that you do in life, it exudes in who you are. So like, once again, let's just say for an example, I run a multi-million-dollar business and I drive a Ferrari, I work out every day, I'm wildly successful, I got a lot of money in my pocket, and I had a lot of success with women based off of who I am, where I'm from, so I do more of that. Well, I don't have to go out to a nightclub, and even though I may be dressed nice, I don't have to be flamboyant. I can just be dressed nice, carry myself as if I know that I have a Ferrari in my garage, as if I know I have millions of dollars in my bank account, as if I know how disciplined I am, how much work I put in, and how without me doing what I'm doing, my life would not be what it is, and it's self-sufficient, and how much power that controls when I go into an environment where some people may not have that level of confidence, nor resources, nor none of that. Now, I'm not over here flashing the keys, right? I'm not over here with a stack of money. I ain't got the iced out chain. I'm clean, I'm confident, I'm cool. I'm not in here to look for women. I come in here and I immediately attract women, so I know it's inevitable. I don't go out searching. When I go out for real, and all that was a fallacy. None of that was real, right? That's an analogy I'm using, for me at least. But what I'm saying is, when I go out, it's not like, all right, I need to get some numbers in here. Like, some guys literally be like, all right, I need this many. It's like, nah, you go out, be you, and attract these women. I have no idea. Sometimes I go out and I leave with no numbers. It's rare, but sometimes it's not even because I'm going there literally. I'm trying to have a drink and I want to be out in the atmosphere. I want to be amongst women. It doesn't mean that, all right, she looking, let me go get her number. I may not want that. I'm not going to pursue it. Sometimes women come up to me and they want to convert, and that doesn't mean I got to engage. I got to get you my number. That's not that. But more often than not, that happens to me, and I find myself in really good situations, so to speak, with engaging with women. And I believe you me, I kid you not, I'm not the aggressor. I go out, I chill, and next thing you know, I'm like, where you came from? I like your glasses. You smell so good, or whatever. You look nice, something. They open up the lines of communication, or they stare me down, or now she looks fantastic, and I might go approach her if she do that. But it's always a woman giving me the sign to say, hey, if you come holler, it's on. And I'm encouraging men to try to, once again, stop focusing so much on getting numbers and all that. Just focus on your passion. Focus on your energy. Focus on something that's going to build you up confidently, so when you step out into the world, people can smell it. They can see it. You ain't got to explain nothing. You ain't got to go and hey, look, I'm giving the game, which is be yourself. Be the best version of yourself. Consistently work on you. You ain't got to boast about it. You ain't got to brag about it. But something about you is mysterious, unique, and when they start to see what you really have to offer, it's so much better. Right? You got a nice place, they come in, the place laid. How much more exciting is that than you saying, hey, I'm letting you know I'm much laid. Like, that's not you. Now you're leading with the thing. Lead with the energy. Let the thing be shown. And she's like, ooh, I wonder what else is there to uncover. This man is somebody. Clearly, he's established. He's his hospitality. He's confident. He's smooth. He know how to converse. He's teaching, right? It's not a combative thing. When I talk to women, I'm literally, hey, look, I read this here. I did this here. I did this here. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, have you ever thought about this? It's thought-provoking. Talk for hours. You ain't gotta listen to me though. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's continue.
Have you ever walked into a room and felt like people are just looking at you even when you're not trying to get anyone's attention? Like you catch someone's eye lingering on you just a second too long before they look away. Or maybe you're just kind of minding your own business and a woman locks eyes with you across the room before quickly glancing down or away. If that's happening to you, my guy, you are the odogu. I mean, you're an attractive guy. Here's what you need to know. When a woman finds a man attractive, she'll look. She might not approach you, she might not say anything, but her eyes will betray her. Even the most hard-to-get woman will take a peek at a guy who catches her interest. The trick is, she won't want to get caught staring, so she'll try to make it subtle. Quick glances, looking away when you notice, or pretending she was looking at something else. The real test? Catch her looking and then hold eye contact for just a second longer. If she gets nervous and looks away or looks down, that's not an accident, she was checking you out. It's not just women though. Listen, other guys notice you too. The thing is, men don't stare at other men the way women do, right? So instead, they'll give you that quick bro nod, like, you know, the bro nod of respect. They'll probably check out your outfit, as I said already, size you up in silence. If you walk past a group of guys and some of them glance at you before quickly looking away, it's actually because they've noticed who you are. They felt that presence. Some will respect it, some will feel threatened by it. But either way, they see you.
Of course, 100% they do. And that's my point. Why would somebody, man alike, go out their way, and even in the presence of women, they can't help it? Either they don't know it, or they feel that envy, that envy, the jealousy, the admiration mixed with, I know he finna get the girls. That's a great position to be in as a man. But that's another reason why I try to educate and tell men, and you do what you want to do. You're a grown man. But when I go out personally, I have subtle pieces that obviously will let you know that I got my shit together. But not too flashy. I mean, I got some jewelry and whatnot, but nothing that's like, wow. You could do that, but it attracts a lot of hate, man. Like, I don't think a lot of men understand the level of hate that's out there. Like, there's a lot of men right now that are struggling with women, and especially from a status standpoint, to a financial standpoint, emotional standpoint. Like, guys will be with their woman and still be getting out of shape, out of body, doing things that's out of their character. And I don't understand. I mean, I do understand, but I'm not in that situation. So it's like, bro, you've put in a lot of energy into reacting to this man making you feel uncomfortable, but just because you're here with your woman. I'll never forget, when I first moved to California, there's another little spot. I was going out a lot and getting used to the area and the city. So I tried a lot of little places locally. I still a lot of places I needed to experience, but one of them was a nice little rooftop spot. Went out there, and just me. It was just me minding my business. And usually it is. I'm a loner by design. And this guy was it was him and his girl. And at the time, I was drinking wine a little bit more than I was drinking any type of like liquor or mixed cocktail or something. So I had a glass of wine, sitting there minding my business, and he's the whole time, he checking me out. He was sitting down at first, now he's standing up, and he doing all this dancing, and he sizing me. I'm like, man, I'm not even looking in your direction. I can see you in my peripherals. But trust me, if I was to be honest with him, I would have said to him in his ear, hey, bro, real talk, your woman ain't fine. You have nothing to be worried about. She not even fine, dude. I'm good. You tripping. But once again, I'm analyzing the situation. Here they are. They may not drink, or maybe they can't afford it, one of the two, but they sitting there with some water. I mean, this is a rooftop spot. That's quite boring, I feel like. You and your girl ain't having no type of conversation. Y'all just in there. I'm like, this is what she got to experience. That situation probably ain't gonna last that long. Why would it? She probably would have been much more happy of sitting next to a man like me. We're gonna order some drinks, we're gonna have some conversation, we're gonna make this an experience, we're gonna have a good time while we're here. Not just finna stare at you or stare off into space while we drinking some water. Could did that at the house. But once again, maybe I understand something that he don't. Maybe I understand something a lot of men don't understand. And that's why they have the trouble that they have. But who am I?
Now this is a sneaky one. Have you ever noticed that when you walk into a space, some people subtly shift to make room for you? Maybe in a crowded bar or a gym, people naturally part ways as you move through. Or maybe...
Yes. Yo, Man, oh man. Boy, this is why this resonated with me. Literally, this happens all the time. For me. If you're a man out there, once again, comment, hey, bro, 100, me too. Listen, it's something about it. And women recognize it, bro. When you in that position, like she about to say it, that's like real, true, harnessed power. And it goes back to, I'm not doing anything special other than what I just told you. I could look exactly like this, right? Nothing about my physical features change. But if I don't carry myself with confidence, if I don't know that I'm putting in the work because I have bigger dreams and goals and I've accomplished a lot already by trusting myself and trusting the process, but it just continues. The books that I've read, the confidence that I know I have in my delivery and in my knowledge, in my intelligence, I probably wouldn't be able to make people move out the way. And when I say make people, I'm not doing anything extra. It's just they see me, and it's something about me or a man alike, right, that makes people want to say, let me get the hell out of his way. Let me split the difference.
Maybe when you sit down somewhere, the people next to you straighten up or adjust themselves slightly. It's because humans are wired to react to dominant, high-value energy. Don't believe me? Listen, when you carry yourself like an attractive man, the whole world moves differently around you. When you have that naturally attractive energy, people assume you're someone. It's like when guys get asked, are you an athlete? Do I know you from somewhere? Even if you're just an average dude living your life, an attractive man has a presence that makes people curious.
Fun fact, since we on that topic, I'm gonna tell you, I had multiple people. See, I recently, this is funny. We've been doing music and all that for years, and obviously I got this podcast, so I'm not afraid of being in front of a camera and being vulnerable and speaking my truths, all right? But over the years, through music, through DJing, and even now, it's one of those things that is, I think, resonate with people when they see it. And even if they don't see it, there's something about, the way I dress and all that. Two women I used to work with. One of them, out of nowhere, stopped me and was like, Rakif, you look like a superstar. Now, that flattering, for sure. I've never once said, you know what, today I'm going to look like a superstar. But that was her perception. And I thought that was funny. Completely different woman, maybe a year or two later, right? Same job. I walk in, I had my glasses transitioned from glasses to sunglasses. So they were sunglasses at this time. She said almost the exact same thing. Rakif, you like a movie star. I don't even act. Most recently, I had a woman that I've been having some dealings with on and off. And so she's experienced me already. So I'm not a stranger to her in that sense, right? She asked me recently, she was like, Rakif, are you famous? I'm like, what? You see my social media following? It ain't nothing crazy like that. Not even close. But for some reason, all these different women from different walks of life, different nationalities, different age groups have said this to me. And it's not because I led with any of that. None of that. I'm not going to say none of it's true because I believe in manifesting and manifestation. But what I'm saying is Jessica OS is right. And there's men out there that would 100% agree with me like, bruh, this literally happens to me all the time. So shout out to y'all. And shout out to the guys who are still in the process of working on themselves to be like, you know what? That sounds like something I'm interested in.
They want to figure out why you seem different from all the other guys. Take note. Sign number 5, you get special treatment without asking. If you're an attractive man, the world subtly bends to your favor. And the craziest part, you don't even have to ask for it. It just happens. You ever had a woman randomly compliment you on something small? I mean, maybe she tells you she likes your cologne, or she asks you some random unnecessary question like, hey, do you know what time it is? even though there's a clock like right behind her. It's not just friendliness. That's an excuse to interact with you. And if a woman likes you, she'll make sure you notice her, even in the smallest ways. So pay attention the next time you're at a social event.
I wonder how many guys, honestly, I wonder how many guys are either going to see this video or have seen this video that Jessica OS has made and start thinking, well, damn, that ain't me at all. Listen, don't worry about that. The whole purpose of this, man, is about growth. I think men have a much easier time digesting reality just because we've been having to deal with rejection and real life. Nobody cares. If you're a man, suck it up, deal with it. So hopefully this is another reality check of understanding like the work ain't done. And no, it's not. By the way, shout out to, I want to say David, no, it's not David Brooks. Anyway, there's a book called The Way of the Superior Man. If you never heard of it, go check it out. It's a very, very good read, but it talks about understanding that the progression of becoming a superior man is continuous. It never stops and it never will. So once you understand that, you will likely already be on your way if you're not already. If you're already in the position where you're constantly progressing, which we all are as men that are striving to be better, then you're on the right track, my brother. But if you just stagnant and you ain't trying to do nothing extra, you ain't trying to get some more emotion going to figure something out, then yeah, life is going to feel like there's no purpose there. Why am I here? What am I doing? It's not fulfilling enough. So I encourage you to continue to keep going, bro. Because eventually you'll get to a space where all of these things, if it's not already happening to you, will start to happen for you. And let me tell you, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful feeling.
I mean, do people seem to position themselves near you? Do women subtly shift in your direction? Or do guys naturally include you in their conversations? It's not a coincidence. Attractive men don't just draw in women, they actually draw in people in general, irrespective of their gender. Craziest part, they don't even have to do anything for it to happen. It's just an energy thing. Have you ever noticed how some guys, for instance, struggle to get a bartender's attention, but when you step up, you just get served instantly? Or maybe a waitress throws in a little extra smile, refills your drink without you asking, or gives you the best seat without making it obvious? Yeah, that's not just good service. That's subconscious attraction at play. People in service roles are trained to be friendly, but when they genuinely like you, their behavior becomes effortless. If you've ever wondered why some guys, for instance, complain about bad service, but you've rarely experienced it yourself, now you know.
You know what's so funny? And I'm not going to say any names, but I'm just a vague scenario. I've had, with what I do for a living, I've had a lot of different interactions with many different people, typically talent. And when I say talent, like, you know, some type of personality. And because of my profession, we have to work with them often. And I had one guy tell me that this particular woman that he had to deal with was a bitch. And I would have to say, I do not agree. Actually, I really disagree because my interaction with her was very pleasant. And everything that he described, she was not. It was complete opposite. I'm like, really? I didn't experience that with her. And if you looked at me and old boy side by side, you would understand why. Hey, man. I told y'all, I'm going to let y'all have it too, dog. Y'all finna get it too.
Now, the truth is, attraction isn't just about looks. It's about presence. If people naturally assume you're important, it's because you feel important. And trust me, that's not just one of the biggest signs you've got something special. Ever got an unexpected freebie? Maybe a barista gives you a free pastry just because, or a hotel bumps you up a suite without an explanation. Attractive men experience this way more than they realize. Why? Because people want to be liked by them. It's human nature. When we're around someone we find appealing, we do stuff like that, okay? If you're an attractive man, women will voluntarily do things for you without you even asking. She'll straighten your collar, adjust your tie, offer to hold something for you. I mean, these are small, but they're deeply ingrained signs of attraction. Women don't nurture men that they aren't interested in. If she's finding little ways to take care of you, my guy, you've got her attention.
You him. All right, we almost at the home stretch.
Sign 6. Women get upset when you don't notice them. Now, this one's interesting. So if you're an attractive man, you'll notice that some women, especially the ones who secretly like you, will get irritated or even slightly salty for no reason. You didn't do anything to them, you didn't say anything offensive, but somehow she's acting a little distant.
You know, I've experienced this in primarily in settings where I see a certain woman all the time, whether it be in my community or in like the workplace. And it's like, what is the deal with her? And I figured that that's what it was. I'm like, why is she? Everybody else cool, but me, it's like, you think you better than everybody. But it's like, nah. Crazy story. Once again, I ain't gonna say no names out of respect for people's lives and careers, but I've had one situation where literally it was a company Christmas party, and this woman, exactly that, would act like had attitude every time we were around each other, or ignore me or whatever. I'm like, you sitting there talking to everybody else, but you gonna ignore me? That's crazy. Until she had one too many drinks, and all of a sudden she twerking on me, she putting her hand up my back, she tried to go for my Johnson. Keep in mind, none of which was warranted, but you know, I kept it a buck. You know, I ain't say nothing. It's all good. Most men would love to be in that position, honestly, by a woman, in most cases, depending on the woman. So, you know, take it as flattery or whatever, but it definitely was unwarranted. And I know for a fact that if the roles were reversed, that's that double standard shit, right? The roles were reversed, I would have been out of a job, 100%. But nonetheless, it's so funny that the alcohol brought it out, and it happened multiple times. I'm like, oh, you really secretly are low-key obsessed with me. And then the second time it happened, everybody figured it out. Everybody was like, oh, yeah, we get it. You like him a lot. You crazy. You got exposed, man. So, yeah, pay attention to that, fella. You have a woman that's just, for some reason, just unruly for no reason. Like, you minding your business, ain't do nothing extra, ain't talk to her, nothing. And that's probably the reason why, because you don't talk to her. Crazy.
Throwing passive-aggressive comments your way, or even just straight up ignoring you. My guy, she's mad because you didn't notice her. And if a woman is mad that you're not noticing her, guess what that means? She wants your attention. Have you ever been in a social setting and a woman who was totally fine and then suddenly starts acting distant? Like she was chatting with her friends, making conversation, but the moment you entered the room and didn't acknowledge her, her mood changed. That's because she was hoping you'll notice her first. And when you didn't, it bruised her ego just a little bit, right? Now the insecure woman will take this personally. She'll assume that, you don't find her attractive, which will frustrate her. It's classic.
Funny. It's, you know what, that one right there, out of all of these signs, probably is the one that was the most enlightful. Is that a word? I don't know if I've just made that up. That set off the alarm, if you will, for me personally, because I never thought of it like that. Part of me was like, that's probably because she thinks I don't find. I'll take it back. In some cases, I probably did, but when I see it going back and kind of backtracking on some of the things I've experienced, that was one of the ones that I was having a hard time figuring out. You know what I'm saying? Because now, I'm a black man, and this has happened from other races and black women as well. So, but when it happens from other races, it definitely make you question, like, hey, what's your motive here? Because, you don't like black people? That's my first thought, right? Like, do you not like, is it my race that's offending you? Is it the confidence? Like, you think I'm arrogant? What is it? Makes a little bit more sense. I'm not ruling out the others, but it is an explanation on some reason why, especially that story I just told you, why sometimes it happens the way it happens. I don't know. Anyway, let's get to the last sign, man, and wrap it up.
If she starts acting extra around you, take note as well. If you're an attractive guy and you're in a room full of people, pay attention to the women who start getting louder the minute you walk in. Like she just suddenly starts laughing more, talking a little louder, exaggerating her movements. Why? Because she's trying to pull your attention towards her without making it obvious that she wants it. Women don't do this around guys that they're not attracted to or don't care about, right? Have you ever been in a bar, a party, or even just walking around and a woman just happens to walk by you multiple times? Coincidence? Nah, I don't think so. She's making sure that she stays in your line of sight. Hopefully, you'll eventually notice her. If she really wants your attention, she might even bump into you accidentally or suddenly ask you some random question just to start a conversation.
Man, that right there is the truth. You don't know how many times, from my personal experience, that the whole bumping into you on accident has happened. Like, oops, I'm sorry. I had one woman literally do this to me 3 times. She was unattractive, but it was flattering still, right? The effort she was going into. So I'm at the spot, like, boom, I get hit by a booty. I'm like, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you was right there. I said, it's all good. Next thing you know, 5 minutes later, boom, I just keep bumping into you. Your spatial awareness is off. You know I'm standing right here. Then she did it again. Boom, I said, all right, I'm gonna just go ahead and start a conversation with her. And I'm gonna tell you what, so I was being nice. I'm like, okay, I'm not attracted to you, but you know, you're still a person here. And you know, it don't have to be based off of that, right? Wrong. Of course, that's what she wanted it on. But then she had an attractive friend come over, and then that was what kind of gave me. I'm like, hey, I used her to kind of position myself to the friend that was actually attractive. But it's funny though, how often, that's just one scenario. That's happened to me multiple times. I had one woman, literally, I tried to squeeze in, and she was on the curvy side, right? So I'm trying to squeeze in by the bar, and it's booty all in my area. And she know it. She keep backing up. Now keep in mind, I don't know this woman. She keep backing up. She said, you want me to move? I said, nah, you good. Man, look, like I said, bro, there's certain men out here that get that type of attention that y'all see it online. Like it's a bunch of slew dudes. I might even feature some of his stuff. Dude been going crazy right now. Dude named King been going nuts with just these interactions with women, and like how effortless it is for him. But it's at a level where it's just like, that is insane. And it's true. It's real. Like it doesn't take all the work that people are constantly telling us online about relationships, attractiveness. Like none of that. There's always exceptions to the rule. And for certain men, none of that applies. None of it. You ain't got to do none of that shit that a lot of women are saying that they deserve. They won't. They just won't. Even though he has the physical attributes, but he's worked on himself, I'm assuming. I don't know the man personally. But from the outside looking in, it looks like the epitome of everything else. Huge social media following usually leads to money. So money, status, success, attractiveness, confidence, there it is. Of course. Yeah, you're going to want that. But once again, as a man, don't try to compete. Just be you. All right? Anyways, let's continue. Wrap it up with this one, I think.
Women are strategic when it comes to attraction. They don't always approach first, but they'll put themselves in a position where you have no choice but to notice and interact with them. Take note. And finally, sign number 7. People assume you have options, even when you don't. They assume women are chasing you, that you've got a lineup of dates waiting, and that you never have to actually try too hard to get anything you want. And the funny thing is, you might not even be dating anyone at all, but people just believe that you're that guy, right?
100%. She came back around. But at the time, I had lost like a really, really reliable, I guess, situation, if you will, with a woman. And it was basically because she thought I was flirting with somebody, and I was talking about food and to go, and like just made up this whole scenario in her head. And I was just at the mailbox getting mail, and there was one of my neighbors who was just struggling with her key. All of a sudden, I'm just like everybody else out here, and I'm gonna fit right in. I'm a dog. I'm like, where'd you get that from? Where'd you pull that from? From somebody struggling at the mailbox with their key? Like, anyways, we rectified that, and she thought about it, and she came back around. Even kind of going right back to this point of like, even with if she believed that or whatever, she had to check herself and said, dang, Rakif's still dope. I still want to be there. Regardless of anything that I've heard, saw, think, don't matter.
Right? And when people, especially women, believe that you have options, guess what happens? Your attractiveness skyrockets. When a man carries himself with confidence, doesn't look desperate for attention, and moves with purpose, women assume other women already want him. It's called pre-selection. And it's one of the strongest psychological triggers of attraction. Women want what other women want. If she thinks you're in demand, she automatically would want you too. If you're an attractive man, women will sometimes assume that you're a player, even when you're just minding your own business and chilling. They'll say things like, oh, I bet you have a bunch of girls in your DM. Or, I know guys like you probably break hearts for fun. And what they don't realize is they're actually just revealing their own interest in who you are. Because if she wasn't attracted to you, she wouldn't care what you do with other women. I'm just saying. A guy with no options doesn't get accused of being a player.
I almost want her to say that again. I'm going to say it for her, though. A guy with no options does not get accused of being a player. This is why a lot of times, I'm going to tell you too, fellas, the guy, like, sometimes women are really, really good at selling you on one thing to get you to believe it. Like, oh, you ain't all that. And she said it earlier, right? Well, why are you here? That's what you like. You go after men that ain't all that. You lying to you. You absolutely believe that. Your actions show that. Everything that you've done thus far believes I'm him. So don't believe that BS that sometimes they try to tell you, especially when they're upset and they feelings. That's coming from an emotional place. They don't mean that. I've had women literally, I've had to damn near force out of my place. Hey, it's time to go. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? What you mean? It's time for you to ride. Anyways, let's wrap it up.
A guy with perceived options, on the other hand, that's the man women get curious about. And here's where it gets really funny. If you're attractive, women will get possessive before you're even together. She'll probably roll her eyes when she sees you talking to other women, or she'll suddenly act cold if you mention another girl that, you're talking to in passing. I mean, she doesn't even have the right to be jealous, but she feels it anyway.
This is what I'm talking about right here when I say that a lot of women will already make up in their mind about who you are to them. Like you said, they get territorial immediately. It's like, hey, we just dating. You trying to push the narrative with everything that you're doing. And because you're a woman and you're not used to getting told no by a lot of men, truthfully, that's what you want. You want somebody to tell you, no, I'm good. Let's wait. We not gonna do that. Let's do this. I don't want to go there. A man with a direction knows where he's going in life, not with the aid, if you will, of a woman. Not to say that a woman can't add to a man's life. What I mean by it is that man is super self-sufficient, and that is what makes him attractive. Like, I can come into his life, and whether I'm here or not, he gonna be living his life. He got here without me. He doing it without me now. What can I even add? Anyways, let's finish what she got to say. I've been on here for over an hour, which is good. Good content here. Let's do it.
Because in her mind, she's already competing for your attention. Listen, if a woman gets territorial over you before you even start dating, it means that she already sees you as high value. Mm-hmm. And that, my guy, is power.
All right. There you have it. That, my guy, is power. And I want you fellas, man, to truly understand at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Power. And power within yourself. Power in this space. It's all a power struggle. When you have money, you have what? Power. When you got status, you have power. Power is important. And not just from a sense of like you can manipulate things, but you can control things by just simply being you. And that's where the true power lies in. Knowing that without any external influence, that you are still going to be you. That's attractive. That's what's going to make people say, I got to get locked in somehow with him. Somehow with him, I need to get locked in. Anyways, listen, man, I'm gonna keep bringing more content like this to you. This is only just to help, man. I am in the middle of the road. I don't lean this way. I don't lean this way. I think there are both great arguments when it comes to dating perspectives and dating challenges and the truths behind dating. I think there are sides where it gets told from a woman's perspective and that men can learn from, not just understanding women, but understand themselves within that and vice versa. I think the hardest challenge that I've run into is when I decide to talk about certain things about how men feel about women. That usually gets more engagement on the disadvantageous side because it's controversial to what's been told to a lot of women about this fairy tale belief of what marriage and relationships really are or what they should be stemmed from. I'm starting to learn that more and more within my singleness, my experiences, my research. And that's why I'm bringing this type of content to you based off of like these videos, these clips or articles or whatever it may be to say, look, there's studies, there are people who are certified. They have validity behind the things that they say based off of their own studies, their own practice, and their own research on why things are the way they are. And if we can talk about that, like I said, we have more resources than we've ever had as a generation, as a society. So the excuse for struggling with dating, and I'm not just talking about listening to podcasts like myself. I'm talking about, look, there is actual information rooted in studies that will support probably both sides. And I think when you start to look at life and understand, okay, this is the structure of which these things lie, there cannot be a common denominator of why this thing doesn't work or what they expect it to work. Like, relationships aren't cookie cutter, but so many times we plan out the idea of what it should look like. More so women than men. I think men just kind of go along with it. They just like, all right, let's see what happens. Women have this whole plan and this whole idea of what they believe a relationship or a good relationship that they want to be in should be. But the studies will show you that based off of that and based off of what a highly attractive man looks like, and then taking that information and saying, well, statistically speaking, that's not even achievable for 99% of the people in the Western world. So now what do we do? I don't know. It's questions that are still to be asked and still discussion to be had, but I just wanted to bring this information to y'all live in the flesh, man. Thank y'all for anybody who tuned in, peeped in, dropped in just to see who I was and what I had going on. Greatly appreciate it. If you give me a like and subscribe, go look at the old content. We on the road to 100 videos. Should have been there, to be completely honest, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. On the road to 100 videos, and hopefully that will start to transition into a little bit more subscribers, man, so I can get monetized and start actually reaping the benefit of some of this equipment that I bought. But that's on me, man. That's on me. I take full accountability just to go hard. I'm going to go a little bit harder for y'all and really start to explain, not just from my own personal experience, but when you see it from other people who have clearly had wildly success in this area, and what they're saying is the same exact messaging that I'm pushing, the narrative that I'm pushing. So anybody that is listening to this and you just strolled upon this, whether you got a big following or a little following, give me a subscribe, man. It'd be greatly appreciated. It'll help the channel grow. And hopefully you'll see me up there, the big dogs, one of these days soon. We're going to try to see if we can push out 2025 strong, man. 2025, we're going to try to end it strong. Whatever that may be, we just going to keep going. You hear me? Anyways, man, like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know the deal. And also, you can go follow the Jahmad Show, right? Go to thejahmadshow.com, pick you up some merch, or plpapparel.net, right? PLP Apparel stands for Promote Love and Positivity. This is all of what I'm about, all right? The more education that we have, the better off we are. Or you can go support the show in this way, pick up some merch, pick you up a mug, sweatshirt, hat, the whole nine. It's on thejahmadshow.com. Also, you can give me a follow on Instagram. That's where I post some other content where it's just behind the scenes or just some personal stuff that's exclusive from the YouTube page. Give that a follow. It'll be greatly appreciated. Also, if you like that video, once again, that video is linked in the description. If you want to go watch the whole video for yourself or you want to have a topic of discussion for somebody else, that video is also right there. Make sure you give credit and show love to Jessica OS. I appreciate the content and I appreciate y'all for everything you've done for me and everything you continue to do for me. I thank God, ultimately. That's a prayer I always say, man. I thank God for everything you've done for me and everything you continue to do for me. And I want to express that love to you guys as well. Anyways, man, I hope you're having a blessed day. Y'all continue to be great. And until next time, love. Peace.